You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN E-mini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things E-mini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro. Joining us today, Mr. Michael Borg. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Wednesday, 6th day of November, 2024. Now, I am visually impaired today. My big, beautiful 55 inches of digital madness hanging on the wall across from my desk. I came in this morning, picked up the remote, which, by the way, in the 5 years or so I've had it, I've never had to change the batteries in the remote. So I thought, I'll just change the battery in the remote. Didn't work. So then I manually tried to power it up. Wouldn't work. So luckily I had a couple other 5-panel monitors around, and it's smaller, and so I can't see what you're seeing as clearly as I normally see it. So I'm going to work on a solution, and well, let's just do the show. Thanks for joining us, whoever you are, wherever you are. We're just glad to have you right here, right now. This is our second live broadcast of the trading day. We do 2 every trading day. Now, the first live broadcast, that's our live training room. So the only way you can get in there is to be a member or to take the 1-week free trial, which you can do by going to mytradingiq.com. I got to figure out how to right here, mytradingiq.com, and at the top of the page it says 5-day free trial, no credit card required. Just hit the purple button, fill out the registration form, hit submit, and we will get your indicators indicating today. Your trial will officially start tomorrow. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to lose 3 days of your trial. You always get 5 consecutive trading days. Now, you're only allowed 2 trials per lifetime, 6 months apart. But we'll get you indicators indicating today. Your trial will start tomorrow, and you'll still get 5 consecutive trading days. We don't count the weekend against your trial, even though you can use the indicators over the weekend, get familiar with them, and there are some markets that never sleep, which means you can actually trade over the weekend if you trade in those markets. Okay? All right. Now, when the live training room ends each day at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, we take a 30-minute break and then come back for this afternoon broadcast, which is open to the public. Everybody everywhere on planet Earth with an internet-connected device. There is 2 different ways to join this afternoon broadcast live. The best way, you only have to do it once. Go to mytradingiq.com. Scroll down the page to where it says Noon Broadcast. Click that link, fill out that 30-second registration form, and you're done. Not only will it get you into our platform that day, today, if you do it today, but more importantly, going forward, every trading day, you'll get an email about an hour before this broadcast starts. In that email, there will be a link. So at 12 noon Eastern, all you have to do is click the link in the email, and it'll automatically log you into our platform. Of course, there'll be days you're out of the office, away from your desktop, but you still want to join live. And there'll be days when you're busy, can't join live, but want to get caught up later. You can do both via our YouTube channel, which is very easy to remember, youtube.com/CFRN. Not only do we broadcast live every trading day, as we're doing right now, simulcasting on our YouTube channel, but we also archive each and every daily broadcast. Currently, there are over 2,600 daily episodes archived for your educational and viewing pleasure. Now, if you're new to CFRN, thanks to the power of YouTube, you can see how we've evolved over the years. You can scroll back 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years, even more. Now, obviously, you're not going to watch them all, and you don't need to. But if you want to see how we've evolved over the years, you actually can. Now, of course, the more recent broadcasts, like yesterday and the day before and the day before, are going to be more relevant to what's happening in the markets right now and in the world right now. But it's a great resource. youtube.com/CFRN. Our daily schedule, we start out with our daily devotional, word of prayer. Then we'll get into some news, and then there'll be a recap of the Logic 247 alerts, the concierge trade alerts. About 50 minutes into the broadcast, Michael will join us, give us a recap of what's happening or what happened this morning in the live training room. And then we'll do 30 minutes of live trading on the TradingView platform. And then I'll wrap things up with our good word for the day. So without further ado, if I can get this mouse back over here. Let's get going with our devotional. There it is. Okay. We started a new topic for our devotion yesterday. It's a 3-parter, so this is day 2 of 3. Confidence in Christ. Our scripture today is Matthew 6, verses 30 through 33, and I'm going to share with you from the Message translation. If God gives such attention to the appearance of wildflowers, most of which are never even seen, don't you think He'll attend to you, take pride in you, do His best for you? What I'm trying to do here is get you to relax, to not be so preoccupied with getting so you can respond to God's giving. People who don't know God and the way He works fuss over these things. But you know, both God and how He works. So steep your life in God reality, God initiative, God provisions. Don't worry about missing out. You'll find all your everyday human concerns will be met. Now, as I read the scripture this morning, getting ready for today's broadcast, something really jumped out at me. It says, where did it go? What I'm trying to do here is to get you to relax, to not be so, this is Jesus talking, to not be so preoccupied with getting so you can respond to God's giving. Okay, half of America was given a huge gift last night. Now, I, like many others, had fretted over this election, watched the ads, followed the campaigns, but all that fretting and fussing did not affect the outcome of the election. And I said this yesterday, no matter who wins, you got to be sensitive to the people who voted the other way. Okay? So there's going to be no rubbing anybody's nose in anything because of how the election turned out. But really, reading this scripture made me realize, and we've been praying it every day for, a couple months now, that as the election approaches, God, we put this in your hands. Your will be done. We've prayed that day after day after day. So, what I'm trying to say is, all that energy that I put into worrying about who's going to win the election, what good did it do me? Zero. Today we're going to talk about walking in God's approval. Ever felt like your dedication to God sets you apart from the norm? It's because you're choosing a path of righteousness, and that's something to be celebrated. When we prioritize God's kingdom, He blesses us beyond measure. It's not about being better than others. It's about aligning ourselves with His will and receiving His abundant favor. Consider a time when maybe you faced criticism for following God's call. How did His approval and His promises give you strength to persevere? Walking in God's approval doesn't mean we won't face challenges or opposition. In fact, sometimes our commitment to Him may draw criticism or misunderstanding from those around us. Yet Matthew 6:33 reminds us that when we seek God first and His righteousness, He promises to provide everything we need. Maybe not everything we want, but everything we need. This assurance allows us to navigate through moments of doubt or discouragement with confidence, knowing that His approval outweighs any temporary disapproval we may encounter. It's a reminder that our value and worth are found in Him alone, not in the opinion of others. What the world thinks about me, it's none of my business. Pray with me. Heavenly Father, thank You for Your promise to provide for all who seek first Your kingdom and righteousness. Teach us, Lord, to trust You fully, knowing that You care for every need and guide all things according to Your purpose. Help us to walk in faith, letting go of worry and placing our hope in You. Yesterday we prayed for one of our longtime members, God, who after 49 years of marriage, due to health issues, is now separated from his wife for a couple weeks. Lord, we pray over that household, over that family, over his wife, and over our member who is, we are a family. If you're a member, if you're a passport holder, if you have made that step, we consider each other family. And we always treat each other with dignity and respect. So God, we continue to pray for them. And Lord, we are glad to see that your will was done last night. We prayed that there would be integrity in the process, there would be no hijinks and whatnot, and maybe there was. Maybe there was hijinks. Maybe there was some people doing things that lacked of integrity. But at the end of the day, God, your will was done. And I would be saying the same words if it had gone the other way. Maybe I wouldn't sound so happy. I'm just being honest with you, God. But we still pray that you would keep your hand, your hedge of protection around America, one nation under God. It's in Jesus' name we believe and pray. And everybody said, amen. Amen and happy Wednesday. Now, I erroneously told you earlier in the week that today was Fed Day because it normally is on a Wednesday, but because of the election, well, you probably already know, it's been pushed to tomorrow, Thursday. So, let's take a look at the news. Okay. U.S. stocks surged on Wednesday as investors digested Donald Trump's victory in the U.S. presidential election over Kamala Harris. A call in the state of Wisconsin in favor of Trump by the Associated Press on Wednesday morning put him over the top, with Trump set to return to the White House as the 47th president. The Dow jumped 2.7%, or more than 1,000 points, to lead the gains. The benchmark S&P 500 moved up roughly 1.5%, and the tech-heavy NASDAQ Composite rose about 2%. The 10-year Treasury note, meanwhile, rose 17 basis points to trade around 4.46%. Bitcoin rallied to a record high alongside a surge in the dollar as the outcome bolstered what Wall Street was calling the Trump trade. Elon's getting his moment in the sun. Tesla stock rose more than 12% in pre-market trading this morning, and it's currently just shy of 14% up, as investors digested Donald Trump's victory in the U.S. presidential election. Tesla CEO Elon Musk had been a heavy supporter of Trump's campaign. Trump referenced Musk during his speech early Wednesday morning, calling him a super genius. "We have to protect our geniuses," Trump said. We don't have that many of them. Okay. So Tesla's up $34, trading $286.16. One of the things that, Miss Harris, Vice President Harris, she did not do what's traditionally done. Now, she has called Trump this morning to congratulate him, but all of those supporters that were gathered at her campaign headquarters last night, wherever that was, when it became obvious that she wasn't, or most likely wasn't, going to win, she just left. I mean, typically they rally the troops and say, "Hey guys, you gave it your all, you gave it a great fight, I'm not done, I'll be back again in 4 years," and we'll do it all over again. See, something. I mean, these people took time out of their lives to go door to door, hand out flyers, talk to people as they stood in the election line. And she just, I understand she was sad, probably mad, but I don't know. It just, I'm no person to judge her character. So I'll stop with that right now. Donald Trump's victory in the presidential contest injects deep uncertainties into the U.S. economic outlook that could alter the Federal Reserve's policy calculus in the months ahead, while renewing questions about how fiercely he might pressure the central bank during his second term in the White House. That was one of his campaign promises, that he was going to get involved with the Fed. In his campaign, Trump promised to wield tariffs more aggressively against U.S. trading partners, deport millions of undocumented immigrants, and extend his 2017 tax cuts. These policies, if enacted, could put upward pressure on prices, wages, and the federal deficit, according to many estimates. Sounds like sour grapes to me. That would complicate the Fed's job as officials seek to lower inflation to their 2% objective while protecting the labor market. Really? We had 12,000 new jobs last month. I can't wait for that thing to be revised. Amid that delicate task, the central bank could fall under an uncomfortable political spotlight should Trump follow his previous pattern of publicly attacking Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Fed officials on Thursday, tomorrow, are widely expected to lower their benchmark interest rate by a 0.25 percentage point, a move that will come on the heels of a half-point cut in September. They've projected one more quarter-point cut this year in December and an additional full point of reductions in 2025. And Trump, please don't mess that up. Please. Yeah, this article pretty much says stuff we already covered. Insurers focused on the Medicare market jumped on expectations the government will pay higher rates to companies that provide private versions of the U.S. health program for seniors. Trump Median Technology Group gained 6%. Wall Street's fear gauge, the VIX, tumbled the most since August to around 16. Trading on stocks spiked, with the S&P volume 110% above the average of the past month. Wow. The Dow Jones Transportation Average jumped to a fresh high after a 3-year drought of records, finally confirming the strength of its industrial counterpart. The breakout is a bullish sign to followers of an investing framework known as the Dow Theory that says synchronized gains in both gauges portend better times ahead for the broad market. And our last piece of news for today. Credit markets are rallying around the world following Donald Trump's U.S. presidential win, signaling investor support to anticipated tax cuts and relief. There was a clear outcome to an election widely seen as essentially tied beforehand. The market CDX North American High Yield Index, which rises as perceived credit risk declines, briefly reached its highest level since January of 2022 today. Measures of credit risk in Europe and Asia also fell, even as the second Trump administration brings the potential of increased tariffs and possible trade wars. And I know that CNN and MSNBC, their candidate didn't win, but they're actually happy. Why? Because now they got something to talk about. I mean, all they've talked about for 8 years is Trump, and now they get another fresh 4 years to talk bad about the comeback kid. And now, I said this yesterday, I've said it a couple times. The outcome of the election not only affects the next 4 years, but I believe the next 40 years. And if Jesus doesn't come back before then, possibly the next 400 years. This was the most important election, I believe, in U.S. history. That's just my opinion. All right. Let's do Logic 247. We are in week 327. Now, Logic 247 is our 24/7 around-the-clock E-mini alert service. It's not just E-minis. It's also crude, gold, silver, bonds. Over the last 327 weeks, we've issued over 18,200 individual handcrafted alerts. In fact, I think we had 18,300 last night. And what we've averaged over the last 327 weeks is 20% or less of the alerts being stopped out based on market structure and a very simple process that we teach all of our passport holders in their one-on-one mentoring sessions. Now, this recap was done this morning at 6:45 a.m. Eastern, so some things may have changed. Valerie will update the recap this afternoon, as she does. But since the markets opened this past Sunday night, I've issued a total of 62 alerts. 3 never triggered. Still waiting on the outcome of 21. Now, a lot of those are probably shorts, so they could get hit when the Fed delivers their announcement tomorrow. Because there's that buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing. So we'll see. But we could end up this week with a lot waiting. But that gave us 38 actionable alerts, of which 8 or 21% would have been stopped out. Again, based on market structure and that simple process we teach all of our passport holders in their one-on-one mentoring sessions. Now, each logic alert has an entry price, an initial target, sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 more targets, and a final trade 2 target. Yes, you can trade them and make money, but that's not the real purpose. The purpose is to teach you how to read a chart, how to look at a chart and know where to expect support, where to expect resistance, and how to find windows of opportunity. So, I know I've always said, don't just trade the alerts so you don't have to learn how to trade, and I still say that. But I mean, it's okay to trade the alerts. Just make sure that you're doing the other work, because until you learn how to read a chart properly, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to become a consistently profitable trader. Okay. Now, the logic alerts can come out anytime around the clock, 2 a.m., 2 p.m., because futures trade around the clock and we have traders around the globe. Their day session is our night session and vice versa. Our original alert service, which is much older than Logic 247, the concierge trade alerts, they're a little bit different. Different how? I'm going to show you. They don't come out around the clock. Oh no. I wonder what happens if I don't want to lose it if it goes off screen. So I'll just roll up. Okay, last night, all of these alerts came out right at the market open, 6 p.m. Eastern. All of our members, all of our trial members, had all of these targets for the ES, for the Dow, for the Russell, crude, NQ, gold, silver, and bonds. Okay. So the Wednesday session begins Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, just like the Thursday session will begin tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern. Stocks stop trading at 4 p.m. Eastern, but futures continue trading until 5 p.m. Eastern. So there's that 1 hour break every day during the week where they have to empty the ashtrays, sweep the floor, and then turn the machine back on at 6 p.m. Eastern. So as we go through the charts, just remember, every member, every trial member had all these targets when the market opened last night. Okay? And up here, if you're a member or trial member, make sure you read this, make sure you understand this, okay? And if you don't, ask me. I'll answer it. You can always find me in Telegram. All right, let's carefully drag this back out of the way. Shrink it down, and with any luck, I'm going to click this, and it's going to pop up on the screen. Look at that, like magic. Except it's not magic. We got a new all-time historic high. Now, because I'm staring at this tiny monitor from across the room, normally I would move this upper fib line to the new all-time historic high. I don't even know if I can read it from across the room. Get out of the way. Oh, come on. No, I can't read that. It's like E. coli crawling across my screen. It's that small. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to have this rectified, hopefully, and I'll be moving this upper fib line up to, and you see where we hit, this is important, the 62% fib extension, like a wall. Big green candle. What we knew to expect if we took out the previous all-time historic high, we knew that the next resistance would be at the 62% fib extension. Now the reason we're looking at a daily chart is because institutional traders, the ones with huge accounts who actually move price, they look at daily, weekly, and monthly charts the way you and I look at 30-minute charts, 5-minute charts, tick charts, and range charts. It has everything to do with account size. They can stay in a profitable position far longer than you and I might be comfortable with, and they can handle a much deeper drawdown than you or I can handle. All about account size. So here's what I recommend to you, okay? Whatever you trade, whether it's futures or stocks or crypto or Forex or ETFs, spend 2 minutes with daily chart of whatever it is you're about to trade on your smaller time frames, so you can see the big picture. And if you were just looking at a 30-minute chart right now, or a tick chart or range chart, you wouldn't know why the market stopped here. It's technical. 62% fib extension. By spending 2 minutes with the daily chart of whatever you trade, you can, number one, see what the deep pockets are doing. Because really, if you just do what they're doing, you can get your goal for the day and put the mouse away. Okay? It really doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. The green line, it's called the BBC. It stands for Bull Bear Cross. When price crosses above the green line, we're bullish and expect higher prices. When price crosses below the green line, we're bearish and expect lower prices. higher prices, lower prices, higher prices. Now, notice this. When price pulls back to the BBC, it holds more often than it doesn't. But we know eventually it will trade through, as it did here, and then it retraced right back to the BBC and then pullback held. So we get a leg, retracement, pullback holds, and then we get this historic rally here where this was one for the history books. It really was. See how long it took. Remember, these are days. Look how many days it took for price to get here. But over here, it's like 2 weeks. I don't know. Then we consolidated. Then we caught a drop. Now, these fibs will change tomorrow when I can get that up there where I want it. But the markets are fractal in nature. That means this BBC, the green line, you can put it on a daily chart, a weekly chart, a monthly chart, a 30-minute chart, a 5-minute chart, a tick chart, or a range chart. And it's going to do the same job. If price gets above the green line, expect higher prices. If price gets below the green line, expect lower prices. Always relative to whatever time frame you're using it on. Okay? All right. Now, all alerts are created on the 30-minute chart. Nothing magic about 30 minutes. It's just the time frame I chose years ago, and it's been good to me, so I've stuck with it. When price drops to a weekly zone, we expect support. When price rallies up to a weekly zone, we expect resistance. This is this week's highest weekly trading zone. These are the zones that were published Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. Once they're published Monday morning for members and trial members, they're carved in stone for the entire week. They don't change in any way whatsoever. Now these CTA targets, the ones that I just showed you, that came out right at the open last night. This was the opening candle, and we ran right up to the long target. You're done for the day. But it kept going. Leg, retracement, leg. Hit the highest weekly zone. Got a little retracement. Hit the zone again. Pull back to the BBC. The pullback held. Now we're just consolidating sideways right here. So the question is, does the BBC continue to hold and we get another leg to the upside? Remember, this is the highest weekly trading zone. The fact that the market turned right there, well, I guess that's why you should use the weekly trading zones. They come out at 6:15 a.m. Eastern Monday morning, so that gives you plenty of time to get them on your charts before Wall Street even wakes up for the week. Now the Dow got a little bit above the highest weekly zone. Okay, but this was the open last night, and we ran right up to the long target. There's your goal for the day. And then we continued to the highest weekly zone, and we're still slightly above the highest weekly zone. The Russell were way above the highest weekly zone. This is where we opened last night, hit the long target, got to the zone. Now when price encounters a zone, 70% of the time you're going to get consolidation. 20% of the time you'll get rejection. 10% of the time you'll get what's called the slice. Okay. Now, this candle here sliced through the zone like it wasn't even there. But when it ran out of steam, what did it do? It retraced to the zone it sliced through and continued in the direction of the slice. Textbook. In Q, we are just below the highest weekly trading zone. This was the open last night. We got above this. We try to get through the zone, try to get through the zone, try to get through the zone, and then bang. And then this little doji here showed a little weakness in the market, so we get a bit of a retracement. But we keep moving. Then we get a pull back to the BBC and it holds. And then we get a leg and a retracement and the pullback holds. Right now we're consolidating just below the highest weekly zone. You see the black step line? It's about to cross blue and climbing. When that happens, we will typically get a retracement back to the BBC. Question is will it hold or not? Well, we don't know until it happens. Held here, held here, held here. So will it hold the next time? If it holds, great, we'll trade to the upside. If it doesn't hold, we'll trade to the downside. In fact, there's a beautiful little window of opportunity right here from about 25.26 down to 24.79. So 520, 480. What is that, 40 points, $800 per contract traded. Crude oil. This is not the highest weekly zone. We opened last night and down we went. And we hit the short target. See, we opened right here, got below the BBC, along with red and falling, right to the target, through the target, down to the zone where it found support. Support always sends a market looking for resistance. Resistance sends a market looking for support. Back to resistance, back to support. And then we ran all the way up and we hit the long target, as they say, to the tick. That's a good thing. So we hit the short target, hit the long target, and you see how the step line's starting to arc to the right. Once it gets on the right side of blue and climbing, expect price to drop to the BBC. Gold. Here's where gold opened last night. And it dropped to the short target. Bounced, hit the short target again, then ran right up to the long target. Then came back to the short target. Found support right here based on this low over here. Okay, so support sends it to resistance, a pullback held. Then we get another leg where we spike the zone, and if you looked over here you'd see why price stopped there. Would send it back to resistance, would send it back to support, would send it back to resistance, which is now sent it to support. This is the lowest weekly trading zone this week for gold, and we're consolidating right at it. And again, the zones are published Monday morning, 6:15 a.m. Eastern. Okay, the last market is silver. Silver came down, hit the short target, found support, bounced up to the BBC, red and falling, took it down to here. You can find out why over here. Back to resistance, and another drop, and if you look left you can find out why. Support sends the market to resistance, resistance sends the market to support. The step line has crossed red and falling, so we should see a retracement up to the BBC. And there you have it. I'm 5 minutes ahead of time. Let me see if Michael wants to come on early. Come on. Michael, want to come on now? Question mark. All right. So while we wait on him, let's do this. When Michael joins us here in a few minutes, he's going to give us a recap of what happened in the live training room. Then we'll do some live trading on the TradingView platform. Then I'll come back and wrap things up with our good word for the day. In the meantime, if you want to become a member, go to mytradingiq.com, watch some of the videos, see what it's all about. When you're ready to become a member, send an email to support@cfrn.net, and in the subject line, just say, I would like to become a member. Valerie will send you an email that has some information and a link. If you choose to click the link, then you'll be able to become a member. Once you become a member, she'll be notified, and then she'll send you a couple of emails with some very important information. Okay? No worries. Now, when you become a member, passport holder, you're going to get 2 hours of live training every trading day. That's why 9 out of 10 new traders fail, is because they don't have anyone to teach them how. They buy courses, they watch cherry-picked videos, they read books, and that's just not a replacement for a living, breathing teacher, putting on, taking off trades in live markets, answering your questions as you trade along in your demo account so that you can qualify to go live. Along with 2 hours of live training every trading day, you're going to get one-on-one private mentoring. No extra charge. The strategy you learn, the indicators you own as a passport holder are fluid across all markets and all time frames. Futures, stocks, crypto, Forex, ETF, doesn't matter. Price flows the same across all markets and all time frames. As I just showed you, from support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, over and over, again and again, never-ending cycle. As a passport holder, you're going to get the Logic 247 alerts around the clock, concierge trade alerts every evening as they're published, and every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern, you'll get the weekly trading zones, and every Thursday night, you'll get an invitation to join us for the members-only workshop. So again, just email support@cfrn.net, and in the subject line, put, I want to become a member, and Valerie will be in touch. Michael has arrived, so he is going to, thanks for coming early. Because I couldn't see my charts good enough to get real granular like I normally do, I ended up finishing sooner than I normally do. Yeah.
That is okay.
Okay, so your screens look good, and I'll hit mute on my end. And you can go to work. Okay.
Here we go. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Wednesday, and it is a happy Wednesday. Yay, Trump. All right, so Bitcoin's up $5,000 right now, $5,109. Sweet. if you have not taken a free trial with us, go here to mytradingiq.com, click on the purple button right here. There's no credit card required for our trial. Click on that button and it's going to bring you to this page right here. All that we ask for on this page is your name, your email, and your phone number. Right down here, your name, your email, and your phone number. There are 5 multiple choice questions. Just answer those. If you have NinjaTrader and you want to use our charts on NinjaTrader, our indicators on your NinjaTrader charts, then give us your NinjaTrader machine ID. Right now, we don't have everything on NinjaTrader. There was a time when we did have everything on NinjaTrader, but we've added things and we don't have everything on NinjaTrader. So just give us your NinjaTrader machine ID if you want to use that. TradingView. Now we do have everything on TradingView. We recommend you use TradingView charts. Give us your TradingView login ID. If you don't have TradingView, go here to mytradingiq.com, click on trading platforms, and watch this little video right here. All right, click on trading platforms and watch that video right there. When you do that, you will be, well, yeah, let me go through that again. Sorry, I just went down a little sideways road. When you do that, you're gonna have to make a choice in here. You click on that button right there that I just showed you. Sorry, you probably didn't even see that. This button right here. All right, it's part of the video, but just click on that button right there. It's gonna bring you in here. Now click on non-professional and click on monthly. You're gonna have the essential, the plus, and the premium. Now you'll also have basic. Basic is the free version that doesn't cost anything. With basic, you can't get the data for $7 a month. It pays like $30 a month for the data. So you're better off getting the essential and getting the data for $7 a month. It costs less to actually get the essential and the data than getting the free version with the real-time data. But if you were to get the essential, you get 2 charts, you get 5 indicators per chart, and you get 20 price alerts. All right. You also get custom timeframes because you use custom range bars. That's what we use. That is what you want. Okay. For the plus, you get 4 charts per tab and you get 100 technical alerts. Now the technical alerts are the things that we use. It depends what you plan to do. If you're going to have multiple charts, you're going to have a whole bunch of different alerts going, then you probably want to get the plus. All right. But if you're only going to have 1 or 2 charts and you're only going to have like a basic set of alerts for each chart, then the essential would be fine for you. All right. I need the premium because I have a whole bunch of things going on and I have a whole bunch of alerts going on and I have a whole bunch of things. So I need to use the premium, but you guys don't. All right. The plus is probably what you're going to need for the most. And you know, a lot of people that are only trading two markets at a time will get the essential, and that's just fine. Okay. Now, if you do that, once you sign in for the essential, the free trial, I mean, that is a 30-day free trial for these things, by the way. If you click on this, you get a 30-day free trial for those. You are going to have to get real-time data, right? To get the real-time data, I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But once you get all that set up, if you go to trade rules right here, down here at the bottom, I have these things for basic users. Click on this one, all right? And you'll see what that brings up. Brings up a single chart with the basic indicators that you're going to need. Now, you are going to have to give us your login ID, this thing right here, whatever you're logged in as. Look, get 6 months free. That's for us to win. You are going to have to log in, give us your login ID, whatever you're logged in as. When you hover over that, it says logged in to CFRN. That's what you're going to have to do. All right. Once you do that, once that is done, then all you have to do is click on that link that I just showed you, and it's going to open up your charts just like that. You know, we'll enable the indicators for you. We'll let you know they're enabled, and you just click on that link if you're a basic person. Right? If you're essential, click on this one, and it opens up 2 charts. All right? I have the ES and the NQ being brought up here. All right? And those are your basic charts right there for the ES and for the NQ. And if you have plus or above, then click this one. This is the one that I use. So this is going to have all my stuff on it every day. Like if I go here right now and I save it, like let me just draw something on this chart. Okay, let me draw a little something on this chart. I'll show you how this works actually. Now let's draw something big on this chart. Let's just circle this area right here. I'll put a rectangle around that area. Okay, now that is our chart. So if we go out here, right now to the trade rules page. And I click on this, it's going to bring up my charts again right here. You see, and if I double click on that, double click on that, double click on that, it's going to bring all the prices into display. Now that's the last time that I saved it, right? But if I delete this one right now and I go in here and I save this one, this is the current chart that I have going with all the stuff that I've drawn on it today. And I hit save on that. And I go back out here to trade rules and I click on this. You will see when it comes up that it has that drawing object on it that I just put on there. You see that? So that gets you the exact charts that I'm using currently. If you go out to the trade rules page and you click on that one thing, all right? So there was one other thing that I was going to show you. If you are trading futures, you're going to have to get real-time data. To do that, you go up here to the left-hand side like that, click on that, go to CFRN, go to accounts and billing. Yours isn't going to say CFRN, yours will have whatever yours is. Go to accounts and billing, then leave, and there is one thing that you need to choose in here if you're going to trade futures. You need to choose, which one of these? Where was it? See me go back. It's this guy right here, this one. This is the one that you need right here. And it's $7 plus tax, $7 a month plus tax. You need to do that if you want to have real-time data, okay? And that's it. That is how you get your charts with our stuff on them for the trial. Now this thing I can delete now. All right, let me bring the question box back up here. All right, I don't see any questions in the box right now. That's good. So that is how you take the free trial. Now, the stuff that we did today, all right, if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. So I showed you how to take the free trial, right? Get in there, take the free trial. You go to the home page, click on the purple button. There's no credit card required for the trial. That's going to bring you to this registration page, fill out all this stuff. Give us a TradingView login ID, right? Make sure you give us that TradingView login ID, because the thing that triggers you into the trades is this down here, the TV trades range trigger. That's what triggers you into the trades, and we don't have that on any of the charting platform. So make sure you get that done, okay? Now, the trades that we did today, let's look at the spreadsheet, okay? Today, the 6th day of November 2024, we made 12 ticks on the NQ, 80 ticks on the Russell. We lost 65 on the YM, and we made 24 on the ES. Now, we stopped out on that very last YM trade. We're minus 25 ticks on the very last YM trade. That put us down on, what, 125 bucks? 25 times 5, yeah, 125 bucks more. So we were up to 560, I guess. Yeah, 560 bucks at one point. But it is what it is. Today took 18 minutes and 4 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up 1,100 bucks, and we took a total of 20 trades this morning. So on the month now, we're at $1,542 over 4 business days, averaging $385 per contract through our business day. On the year now, we've gone on goal every single day, 208 out of 208 days. It's been 5 days since our last non-green day and 369 business days since our last red day. All right, so now on the year, we're at $101,912 over 208 business days, averaging $489 per contract per 2-hour business day. If you were to quit trading when you get your goal for the day and you were to add 1 contract per month, so far this year, you would have only had to work 61.65 hours and you would have averaged $2,845 per hour in those 61.65 hours, okay? All right, now let's get into what we did. All right, on the markets, the YM had my butt again today. And I was looking at it, I almost got rid of it and put the crude on there instead, but I ended up sticking with the YM. Now today on the YM, we started out here. Actually, we didn't start out there. We started out somewhere before that, right here, the minus 25. I don't know how I ended up with a minus 25 on that. I should not have gotten a minus 25. It just went so fast right at the beginning, and I should have gotten plus 25, but I ended up with a minus 25. So that one messed me up. Then I had, but the markets move around a little bit because, you know, this is the first opponent of the election, so it was a little crazy. We had a break even on that one. Then we took 10 ticks profit on that to get us to minus 15. We had a break even on that one. So break even on that one, that went pretty well. Break even on that one, that went pretty well. Stop out on that one. That put us down to minus 40. And then I didn't trade the YM again for a little while. And over here, stop out on that one. Put us down to minus 65. And that was where we ended it with the YM today. Now, it's not that there weren't good trades on the YM. It's just that, during the lesson plan portion of it, I wasn't taking any of the trades that were there. So there was one right here that would have gotten some back. There was one right there that would have gotten some back. One right here that would have gotten it back. So I could have been easily positive on the YM today. And if I didn't mess up that first trade, well, it is what it is. Let's see. In here, we had one more during the break. Was that a trade there? It was a trade right there during the break. That doesn't look like it went enough to get the stop to break even. 52 up to 62, just barely. I would have stopped out. It did put in a higher swing finally over here and gave one more trade right there that gave about 20 ticks. And that's all that the YM gave up today. Okay. We'll go to the Russell now. And we kind of had a really good day on the Russell. It made up for the YM and then some, actually. I'll go back to the very beginning. Here it is. So Russell was crazy right here at the open. Look at all that gaps and all that stuff right at the open. So we do anything with it for a few minutes. We let it go and let it go and let it go. And then we finally got a trade here. And somehow I managed to get a break even on that without getting any profit. The next trade here on the Russell, though, we picked up 45 ticks on this one. We got the full 45 ticks on that one. Somehow we only got a break even on that. Didn't do any trading until all the way over here. On this one, we just got 5 ticks. We just got 5 ticks. And then we didn't trade again for a little while. Well, the last trade that we did it was in here somewhere. I think it was this one right here. We went from 50 to 80. We got 30 ticks on it. I think it was right in here. We got 30 ticks on that one. And that was it for the Russell. Now, during the break, I would have been looking for a lower swing from this over here because it never gave us a valid long trade. So I wouldn't have done any more trades on the short side, and I wouldn't have done anything on the long side until all the way over here. Got our first trade on the long side right there. That looks like it went about 20 ticks. Did put in a higher swing. The next one was right here. It looks like it went another 20 ticks. Did not put in really a higher swing, so I probably would have skipped this one. And then you had your last trade right in here, so I probably would have taken that. All right, now let me, I know that I had said something about being on the YouTube channel because we're about to go to YouTube right now, so let me open up the YouTube too. .com/CFRN. All right, so now it should be opening up the YouTube for us. Here it is, and I'll click on that. So see the comments in there because I know I just invited one of our guys to YouTube. All right, so and that was it for the morning with the Russell. All right, with the Russell. So let me bump that back. Now the NQ, I didn't trade the NQ for quite a while this morning because it was just too wild. It had a spread, and I'm only trading it when it's got a spread. Let's go back as far as we can here. All right, here we are. Now, the NQ was just wild this morning, so I didn't trade it all a little while. Let it really settle down. You know, I had the gold chart up here for a while, and even the gold trades, there were some good gold trades, but I missed them all. And then finally, after a while, I got the NQ. I took this first trade here on the NQ, and I picked up 45 ticks on that one. And then I took the trade right after it here, which wasn't the best trade because the ribbon wasn't spread out very well. And I ended up stopping out on that. Those are the 2 trades I took on the NQ this morning. Then we got into the lesson plan. I didn't trade it again. It's not to say that there weren't more trades, but you would have wanted to go for the easy and obvious trades on the NQ today. That would have been like right here and right here, easy and obvious. Okay, even right here would have been easy and obvious trade. It didn't do anything, but it would have been easy and obvious trade. You want to make sure the ribbon is all spread out. All right, the ribbon's all spread out, and you're clearly coming out of the overbought and oversold. I didn't do any more trades on the NQ. Looks like there was just one right there and another one right there. And that didn't put in a higher swing, so you would have to skip this one. But it does have a higher swing now, so you could have another trade now. If this bar were to close down and get us into the oversold, we'd have another trade right now. It did not do that, so we don't have a trade. But that was it. All right, so for anybody that's coming in the YouTube stream right now, let me show you this. If you've not taken a free trial with us, go ahead to mytradingiq.com. Click on the purple button right here. Once you click on that purple button, there's no credit card required for the trial. It's going to bring you to this registration page. Just fill out this page. And down here at the bottom, give us your machine ID. If you have NinjaTrader, give us your login ID if you have TradingView. Okay, that's all that we need to get you set up for your trial. Do that, and we'll have your indicators indicating, and you'll be ready to go at the beginning of your trial. All right, so we don't have any trades. Well, actually, the ES is actually setting up a trade right here, right now. So let me get that ready to go. Okay, the ES DOM is right here. So the low of this bar is currently 41.75. So we're buying 43.75. Sorry, 43.75. If the low is 41.75, we want to do 2 points above the low. That is 43.75. All right, the ES is in a trend. It has the ribbon all spread out. So this is one of the easy and obvious trades right here. Okay, this is easy and obvious. So you're just waiting for that to give us the up close, and we'll take the trade. If the bottom happens to get any lower than this, we'll have to adjust. Okay, we have just a little bit higher swing over here on the YM, but we're not coming out of the oversold. We are in the oversold on the Russell. Did this drop down anymore yet? Not yet. And the NQ is now oversold as well. So the NQ could also have a trade. I don't know where my NQ DOM is, but the NQ could also have a trade. That should have brought up my NQ DOM. Here it is right here. Right on top of my Russell DOM. Okay, so on the NQ, let's spread this out to see if we have all four lines visible. Yeah, I guess we do right there. We have all four lines visible right there. So here's the trade. And after it goes 4 ticks into profit, which I think it might have already done. No, it didn't. It's got to go up to 34.50. Not 4 ticks, 4 points into profit, sorry. It goes up to 34.50, then I'll bump the stop to break even on the NQ. All right, so we're still waiting for the S trade to come around. It hasn't done it yet, and the NQ trade did on the up close right here. It came out of the oversold in an uptrend with 4 lines visible in the ribbon. So when it gets to right here, the stop will go to break even. Okay, right there. We just entered on the ES trade, and we're just about to hit the break even button here on the NQ trade. Okay. Now the NQ should go all the way up to, okay, so I'm just gonna hit the break even button. The NQ should go all the way up here to the high right there at 840.25. My target is right there at 842. So we'll start locking some in right now. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna lock in 1 point on this. The ES just failed us right here. We had 1 tick of slip on the ES, so we gotta put our stop in the right place. And the prior swing high is where this NQ should go. All right, I'm gonna lock in 1 more point on that. I'm actually gonna lock in 3 points altogether on that. The ES should go up to right there. That's the number the ES is searching for. And for those of you guys on the trial, that is in tomorrow's lesson plan. Okay, that's the number it's searching for. I'm gonna lock in, well, a lot more on this. There's 6 points right there. And it did get up to the prior swing high, but now we'll see if it gets all the way up to my target number. There's 7 points, 8 points. It's gonna go right there. You see that number right there? It's gonna hit it. It's gonna hit it. It hit it. No, it just didn't take me out. All right, 9 points. It's gonna get it. There it is. All right, so we've got 12 points on that. All right, so we've got 12 points there on the NQ, and now the ES, I'm gonna hit break even on that too. All right, with the ES, it has to go to break even. I mean, it goes 4 ticks into profit, and then the stop goes to break even. I'm just gonna lock in 1 tick there. I didn't do anything with the YM trade, but it's not, I mean the Russell trade, but it's not too late really to do that. I didn't do anything with the YM because it doesn't have a trade, but the Russell did actually have a trade right here. All right, so we got the 1 over there on the ES. We got 12 on the NQ, 1 on the ES. And the Russell's, you know, this pullback right here is like a 50% pullback of this leg down. So it should be okay, but it's pretty close to the prior swing high right here. That's the problem with this. 98 up to 99.2. It's got 12 ticks. So it's got enough to get the stop to break even. So it is a valid trade. You can take that. I did take that. It's right here. I actually got the perfect entry for it too. Now this has to go 10 ticks into profit to bump the stop. So 10 ticks is right there at 99. Okay, it's got a 25 tick stop. And once it hits 99 even right there, then I'm going to bump my stop to just hit the break even button. Once it does it, the NQ went all the way up here to the weekly trading zone. So that is good. Now, those of you guys that were in the lesson plan today, let's give it one more tick. Those of you guys that were in the lesson plan today, here it is, break even, ding. We talked about leg lengths, and I just mentioned that because the leg length right here is repeating itself right now. Okay, I ended up with a break even on that Russell, but we went from here up to here is our leg length, right? And so if we grab that and we stick it right here, that's what we're trying to do. And then when we get the pullback, it was part of today's lesson plan. The pullback is this big, from here down to here. Okay, that's our pullback. So that's what we should expect to see. All right. All right. Now, we did get up to the prior swing high exactly right there. Let's, well, that is what it is. I don't see any questions coming in. It is now 1:12, so we have 18 minutes left in here. Let me see over here in the I don't see anything coming up over there in YouTube either. All right, if anybody's got any questions, all you have to do is ask. Okay, all you have to do is ask. If you have any questions. So what we have going on right now, we have a higher swing and we're at the weekly trading zone. The ES looks like it's trying to get up to the weekly trading zone right here. It'll probably pull back before it does, because again, you're looking at the leg lengths here. It's already done the leg length that it should do. So it'll probably pull back before it goes the rest of the way up there. If you consider this your leg length, you draw it for you. If you consider this your leg length right here, it's already done that, right? You see, it's already done that. So it should pull back. And if this is your pullback, looks like it's 2 bar lengths pullback. If this is your pullback, then that should put it right down here into the ribbon. As we go sideways and it pulls back, the ribbon is going to rise up. It should go right into here, into the ribbon. And then you should have, from that point, that right up into the zone, right? If it's like, that's what should happen. It could go right up to the zone, but if it does do the pullback, that's what should happen there. Okay. There's no guarantee that it's going to do any of that. But if we get a down close on this one and down close on the next one, then we'll get down here. And then that would be a good structure of the market, really. And again, if you are following the lesson plan from today, leg lengths is what we covered today. And that's just what it's doing right now. Okay. Now, if you have not taken a free trial with us, go here to mytradingiq.com. Click on that purple button. There's no credit card required for the trial. Click on the purple button. It's going to bring you to this page. Just fill it out. Right? Pretty easy thing. Not much happening there. No difficulties. If you don't know what your machine ID is for NinjaTrader, I'll show you how to get to it. Okay. You get to it. This is a demo thing. I don't even know what these trades are from. I don't know what dates they're from, what day it's from. is I think 24.55. Yeah, there's nothing at 24.55 anymore. Anyway, all you have to do is go to help and about, and the machine ID is right here. Okay, that's what you need to give us for NinjaTrader. Now, you only need to give us that for Ninja if you're using Ninja charts. If you're not using Ninja charts, then you don't need to bother with that. What you do have to give us, though, is the TradingView login ID, and that is this thing right here. Right, click on this up here. It says logged in to CFRN. It's this thing right here, CFRN. Okay. Hey, look. It puts that money right out there for us. It's funny because we've never used any of that. I think some of it went away. It used to be like 500 and something. We never took advantage of that. Should probably figure out how. Anyway, we're looking for the pullback here now on this. Right. What we're looking, it actually needs to drop down one more bar. This bar needs to close down. That will get us into the oversold. And that will kind of finish what I was looking for this to do. All right. It's got a high right here of 47.50. It's got a low of 45.75. It's got all the range in the bar. So this bar is either going to close down right here or it's going to close up right here. One or the other. If it closes down, it should put us into the oversold. And it's not really going to set us up for another trade because it's too close to the swing high for me. That's what I was just saying a few minutes ago. You want to have enough room between your entry point and the swing high to get your stop to break even, and it wouldn't be the case with this one, the way it currently looks. We'll see how it all comes together. All right, so look at over here on the NQ. This is what I had drawn in here, and look at what it did. Right up there to the top. And so this is the pullback I was looking for. And just put that pullback over there to put it in perspective. And should put it right down here into the ribbon. All right. The problem with that one is going to be that it's going right into the weekly trading zone. But again, this is all about the leg length stuff that we went over this morning. It's all the leg length stuff that we covered this morning, again and again and again. All right. So Greg, you said you needed to meet with me, right? And John, I don't know if John's in here. John needs to meet with me. James needed to meet with me. Graham, you need to meet with me. All right. Got to arrange all that. We just needed to get down to here. A down close on this bar would be well. It'd be all right. And up close isn't going to do any good because it's going to be right there inside the weekly trading zone. All right. And this one over here, the up close is way too close to the swing high. That's what I was afraid of. I really want the down close. It's not giving us a trade anyway. We need the down close to get down below the into the oversold over here. And the up close right here is right inside the zone. So I don't like to do that either. This is going right at the zone. This is right in the zone. The only way I like to do it is outside the zone. Like if it were up above the zone, like this guy right here, if it was something like that. I don't mind taking those trades. All right. Does anybody have any questions about anything yet? Happy to answer them. And bring up the YouTube again. Nothing in YouTube. So we just have to wait. right. Well, we almost got the pullback we were looking for. It's the leg up now would be from the bottom of this. So we'd put it right above the weekly trading zone. You know, you could do this if we're outside the zone. You could do that. The YM is, the YM is above the highest weekly trading zone right now. So that needs to pull back, and we don't really have any guidance above it other than just looking left. Okay, I don't know if these are all-time highs on the YM. I don't think they are. Right. If you go to the YM and blow this up, you do this on a weekly. Well, maybe they are all-time highs on the YM. They are all-time highs on the YM. Okay, we're above the weekly trading zone and we have all-time highs. So let's go to a daily again here. Let's see. So all-time highs on the Dow. The Russell's actually got a little bit of a trade right here. Now this one, it's got to have 10 ticks from here to the swing high. 99.3 up to 400.4. It's really, really close. The markets just don't seem like they have any energy left in them right now. I suspect as we get toward the close today, they'll probably have a little more energy. But the ES is now coming out of the oversold. This came out right back here, right? Yeah, I don't want to take it going into the zone. All right, let's go look at some of these other markets. Let's look at the Bitcoin right now. See the Bitcoin, the Bitcoin got all the way up to 75,831 today. Now that is new all-time high on the Bitcoin. Okay, we're looking for it to get up to this level, and it did the pullback that we're looking for. And now this is the final level that would extend the leg length that we're currently in, all the way up here to 79,000. That would be the level that we're, the leg length that we're currently extending toward. Okay, that was Bitcoin. Now let's look at what's next. XAU USD gold took a beating today. Yeah, I can hear it pretty well. This pullback right here is not 50% of the retracement, so I would expect it to maybe pull back a little bit more before it goes down some more, is what it's looking like on the gold. Okay. Now, we had drawn this stuff in here yesterday about where it should go to based upon the stuff that it's done in the past right here, right? This is what we said yesterday, expect it to go down to here. And look, when it got down there, it had a bounce off of that. That was at 2 o'clock this morning. It had a bounce off of that right back up to the BBC, and then it tanked off of that. So if we take this right now, this is what we drew in here yesterday based upon the price action that we had then. And if we take this right now and we extend it all the way over here, the current price action, we have to drop it down a little bit more like this. So the pullback, the 50% marker would be back here into the BBC, into the ribbon a little bit. It hasn't quite done that. It's still like a 25% pullback, not a 50%. But once it does do that, say something like that is what we'd be looking for on the downside, all the way down here at 26.15. So to go back and look at yesterday, what we talked about yesterday with this XAU USD stuff, you'll see that that's what we're looking at. Now, this is just the YM today, using just the plain TV trades on a 19 range. If you just took the long trades and the short trades when it said today, let's see. Started out right here. That one worked out pretty well. That one worked out okay. This one, the stop would have been right up here, so it would have stopped you out before it went down. This one, the stop would have been down here, so it went quite a bit before it pulled back. This one, the stop would have been up here, so that one would have stopped you out. Well, you would have triggered this one before that one did. I don't know if I have the bias on this. Do I have a bias? I probably don't. Yeah, if you enable the bias level, it's going to remove some of that stuff. There you go. So this one worked out well. This one worked out well. This one gave you enough to get the stop to break even. This one worked out well. Then this one would have stopped you out. This one would have stopped you out. This one you would have gotten it back. And this one you would have gotten it back. Now the stop on this is down here, right below the prior swing low. And this one worked out all the way up to here, so about 30 ticks before it actually retraced, and that's where we currently are. That was just using the plain TV trades with nothing added. And the next one is this one over here, the DJT. Now they halted trading on this morning. The pre-market was up 10 bucks. It was like up to here. This morning was a pre-market. Well, the open was right here. That was it. It was right there, 44.54. And yesterday we were looking at some options, and the options were up at that point. The ones we were looking at, the call options we were looking at yesterday, were up pretty good at that point. But they've since gone down, as you can see. Price has since gone down, and it filled this gap. And now I don't know what DJT is going to do now. I would think it's gonna keep moving. I would think, but we'll see. Let's go back here to the futures, and we'll see what we have going here with futures. It gave a decent pullback, needs to put in a higher swing. The Russell also gave a decent pullback, needs to put in a higher swing. The YM actually gave a trade right here that needs to put in a higher swing. So everything just needs to put higher swings. It's all pretty good other than that, though. Just going through. All right. So I was just curious. What time is it? 1:27. So we need higher swings on all these things. One of the things that I was looking at this morning was larger time frames. There was a video that I made this morning for those of you guys who you see things pop up over here, these alerts that pop up over here with larger time frame stuff. All of these things that pop up based on the larger time frame things. The TV trades trigger, range trigger on the larger time frame. If you want to set those alerts up so that they happen on your desktop, I created a video this morning in the room, and I stuck it out in the Breeze Telegram channel. All right, so you all probably have access to the Breeze, and it's right here. The video that I made is, I don't know how long it is, 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes long. So, and just like that, men can't get pregnant again.
Well, this should keep CNN and MSNBC in business for another 4 years.
Yeah, it's gonna be. They'll definitely have stuff to talk about.
Oh yeah.
And Jack Smith will start looking for a job. I'm sure there's enough haters out there that'll hire him.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, we got a higher swing over here on the NQ now. See, just this alert information is so good. Just thinking about things that we could do with that. Now that I know how to automatically send stuff to Telegram. And all that. Yeah, the whole thing sent into Telegram works great, Dwayne.
Does it?
I mean, I gotta create Yeah, I got to create the string so it says what I want it to say. But
Yeah, I tried it with the Logic 247 alerts, but because I was doing, so many in a day, it was just way too time consuming.
yeah, well, this is
I
fully
like to
automated.
I like to bang out. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. Mine couldn't be
Yeah,
automated until I input the
right,
data. So,
right. Yeah, that's the thing. The Logic 247, you got to actually put in all the data. If you're going to bother putting all the data, then you might as well just
I,
type the alert.
I came to that conclusion after like
Yes.
one day.
Yeah, it doesn't take long to figure that out. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing with that. Originally I was wanting to put it so it would show a whole bunch of the delta and all that stuff, but I was going to have to put in all the delta and I was going to have to put in the IV and all that.
Oh yeah.
And if I got to put it all in, then what's the point? Yeah.
Now, in theory, you can create an appy that will do that for you, but it's above my pay grade.
Yeah, I did create most of that, but getting that information and taking it from like multiple sources and sticking it in the right place and then sending it from that place to one place to another place is just it's a lot of work.
Yeah, ton of
And,
work.
and at some point I have to do something, and I don't want to have to do something. I want it to be fully automated. So if I can get it to the point where it's fully automated, where it's giving out useful information, like that's what I was talking about. This stuff down here, we have these alerts that pop up right now that say, we had a 60 range crossover, look for 60 tick move down, or a 100 range cross look for 100 tick move down on these different markets. That's useful information, even if you don't have everything else going. I just clicked on that and put it over here by accident.
Speaking of alerts, I just had an alert pop up on my phone. Trump projected to win Michigan, completing the blue wall sweep. Man, that's
Yeah, yeah. It looks like he was going to get everything that wasn't done over there. Michigan was one.
Jersey was still hanging out there.
And wasn't there another one over there by the Great Lakes that was still out? I don't remember.
Well, the blue wall, I can't remember which 4 states it is. Somebody can type it in if they want to.
I don't know. I'm going to put this back to the line.
Okay, so
What time is it? Oh, it's 1:33. I didn't even realize. Okay, yeah. Let me wrap it up. Let me wrap it up. Sorry about that.
no worries.
All right. So if you have not taken a free trial with us, go here to mytradingiq.com. Click on the purple button. There's no credit card required for the trial. When you do that, he's going to bring you to this registration page. Just fill it out. Give us the information what you're indicating for you at the beginning of the trial. All right? That's all you have to do. Now, with that, I can pass it back up to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, looks like you are ready.
Yes, sir. Recap of the morning session.
Today, it took 18 minutes and 4 trades to get to $1,100.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We've covered everything that we can cover. We covered all the markets already, so we're just going to dive right into our good word for the day. Now, for the last 4 days, we've been talking about how to develop patience. We're going to switch it up today and talk about your values. Part 1. Proverbs 11:3. The integrity of the upright guides them. Here are some values based on Scripture. Number 1, God's sovereignty. You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before a single day had passed. That's Psalm 139:16. You can rest in knowing that God has the last word on everything that concerns you. When all is said and done, you have an ordered destiny. When you know that, you don't have to try and manipulate people and circumstances to your advantage. You simply have to walk through the doors God opens and be at peace with the doors He closes, knowing that He always has your best interests at heart. Number 2, integrity. The integrity of the upright guides them. Proverbs 11:3. As you walk in integrity, you will experience God's peace because you know you have done the right thing in His sight. Integrity is not only being honest or telling the truth, but also ensuring what you say is the truth. In other words, you make your word your bond. Psalm 15:4 says that one of the traits of a person who abides in God's presence and does His will is that they keep their promises even when it hurts. Number 3, humility. Humility precedes honor. Proverbs 15:33. Humility is not a sense of worthlessness, but instead an acceptance of your God-given strengths and God-allowed limitations. Your strengths should not make you arrogant, and your limitations should not make you apprehensive. For God has promised in 2 Corinthians 12:9, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." We'll pick up with part 2 of that tomorrow. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.